Hey everyone, welcome to our review, spoiler cast, whatever you want to call it, of Star Wars Episode 7. Come on.
The Force Awakens.
There it is. There it is.
And I know we're super late, and I don't care. I want to talk about this, and I want to talk with Jarrod, and we're going to spoil everything. We're going to tell you our thoughts, if we liked the movie, if we thought it was crap. And you're going to start with the beginning, and we're going to try to do kind of like what we did with our Arkham Knights podcast. We're going to try to do parts and parts and parts and then resume it and put it all together.
All right, but before we do any of this, I'm finding something. I need to find it. Okay, there it is. Okay, just to give people some background there, I saw the movie when it opened, and because Steven lives in a town where, like, electricity, when they have it, which is rare, is, you know, it's a time to celebrate, so they get movies usually, like, 6 to 8 months after, like, the rest of the world. So, when did you actually end up seeing it?
I watched it, not this Friday, which was yesterday, but the Friday before that.
There you go. So that's crazy, okay? Totally crazy. Okay, so with that context out of the way, which is why this is obviously super, super, super late, but it's fun to talk about things that you liked or disliked or whatever. So, okay, beginning of the movie. Remember, by the way, like Steven said, spoilers everywhere here, so keep that in mind. We're not holding anything back as of 3, 2, 1, right now. So, soon as the title scroll started, I loved how the first line, and I might be wrong, but I believe it was something like Luke Skywalker is missing, something like that. And I loved that. I loved it because all of the build-up to the movie, you were asking, well, where the hell is Luke? Like, he's the last Jedi. He's the big Jedi. Where the hell is he? And I love that. that was my introduction to the damn movie. It hadn't even begun yet. and I was like, all right, like, this is good. So Luke isn't going to be in this movie. And we'll touch base on everything else after. But then the movie begins. It actually, like,
Just before that, I want to cut you right there.
Damn you.
Because when I was reading the introduction, they said something like, Leia, blah, 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 da, 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 da. And I kept reading, I was like, what? Who the hell is that? What's Leia's second name in this? Because I know she was adopted or whatever, so I guess she kept that
It's
name.
Organa. Leia Organa.
Okay, because I did not know that. I was confused, and then it clicked right, like, a second after I backwards, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Okay, that's it. All right, just a fun fact.
Are you kidding me? You did not know that Princess Leia's last name was Organa?
No, in my head, she was Leia Skywalker.
That's awesome. This right here, this is going to be a YouTube sensation. Okay, so then the movie begins. And the very first spoken line of the movie is by some new character that we don't know. And whether or not it's meant to be a jab at Lucas and the prequels and all that stuff, who cares? Maybe it's just an amazing coincidence, but to me, it really struck a nerve with me, and this is the line. This will begin to make things right. And I had goosebumps, like, almost the entire movie because of that. Because it's so true. It's so fitting, at least for me. Yes, okay, globally, this really was almost like a retelling of A New Hope. It shares so many plot themes and everything like that. Sometimes even down to stupidity. Like when you really think of it, it's like, okay, so the First Order builds this giant, death thing that can destroy multiple planets at a time, but an itty bitty little, group of people can go in and destroy the whole thing in 2 seconds. Like, wow. But still, globally, that one line, I really think sums up how I feel about The Force Awakens as a whole. I really do. It's so weird, too, that the very first spoken dialogue of the movie that's my review. It really is. In a nutshell, that's exactly how I felt about The Force Awakens. When I came out and people were asking, like friends and stuff like that, were like, hey, what'd you think? I was actually telling them, I was like, well, you know what? I'm looking at it like The Force Awakens is going to begin to make things right. And yeah, so go ahead.
So that's it. That's our whole review, guys. Thanks. No, but I really liked how it begins, and I had no clue what was going on, obviously, because it's me. I didn't even know what Leia's second name was, still don't. And, I thought the general theme of the movie was way darker than previous Star Wars, and I might be the only one, because I know some of my friends were like, what, are you crazy? I'm like, in the first 15 minutes, you see a group of people getting assassinated in front of your eyes. And it's Kylo, what's his name?
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren. He orders them dead right there, and it happens right before you, and I was like, what? That's crazy. I don't know why I like that, but I do. It's like, it sets the tone, for this badass character, and then later on we find this, one of the most interesting villains I've seen in a while, honestly. And the first... Okay, obviously, this guy, we find out pretty early on that it's Han Solo's kid. And I thought that was fantastic that they said it right away and that they did not, use this as a huge plot twist later on. I thought that this was able to make the story even better because we kind of felt like the struggles of Han and how much hard it must be to see his son become this monster. And another thing is that they didn't necessarily say this is Han and Leia's kid, but in a cool scene later, you see Kylo, whatever his name is. I have so much trouble with these new names, with a mask of Darth Vader and say something like, I don't want to disappoint you, Grandpa, or something like that. So you know that it's Han and Leia's son, which was pretty obvious because you knew that they were becoming a couple at the end of Jedi. So I thought that was awesome, and from there, the movie grabbed me, and I was hooked. Also, the new actors are fantastic. This is not the same new actors we saw in the prequels. These are fantastic actors. Her name is what, Rey?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I don't know, I really like the play, and apparently, I don't know what the name of the stormtrooper is.
What, Finn?
Yeah, Finn.
Wow, you suck.
I do. The actor playing Finn is actually British, and it's funny because the Rey actually plays with a British accent, and he doesn't. I just found that funny. I don't know why. And I'll let you talk for a bit. I said a few things. Maybe you have some things to add.
I got all kinds, man. I could talk about this for hours. Okay, so going back to Kylo Ren, that first scene, yeah, you're right. They establish right away that he's badass. But again, it does. I'm not gonna deny it. Right away, I was like, "Oh boy, here we go." This is the scene where Luke's uncle and aunt get basically killed, and you see their bones smoking when he comes back. But I didn't think of it then. I wasn't looking at it like that. I was just they're trying to establish Kylo Ren as a guy with no morals. He is fully dark. And the other thing is, they established in the first 5 minutes of the movie a force power we had never seen before. And again, if you don't look at books, if you don't look at video games, if you don't look at any of that, if you just look at the movies, what did we see Vader do? Well, we've seen him do a lot of force chokes where you see his hand, doing the choking the little squeeze thingy. We've seen him deflect blasts from a blaster, a rifle, whatever you want to call them. But here we have this guy, Kylo Ren, standing there, making no gestures whatsoever, and someone shoots at him, and he stops the laser midair, like just, just there, and it's just, he's talking, and he's like, blah, 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 and this damn laser bolt is just like, just out there. I was like, holy crap, man. Like, they did something in the first 5 minutes of that movie that we had never seen in the entire saga, which was a brand new power. And not some lame-ass, like, acrobatic, flipping all over the place, CG heavy. No, this was just something so subtle, so simple, and I lost my mind when I saw that. I was like, that is so badass. Like, how strong is this guy? Or how, just asking those type of questions, like, is this guy more powerful than Vader? Is this, like, who the hell is this guy? And I thought that set the stage wonderfully for what was to come. And then talking about the actors like you just did, I thought that was this is a whole new category, man. I am a huge Star Wars fanboy, and I am not ashamed to say that Kylo Ren, Finn, and Rey, I think, are actually better actors than Luke and Leia were in the original series. Like, with Rey in particular, wow, did they nail that actress. Holy crap. I don't know her name in real life there, but I felt bad for her. Like, when she's going and trying to, sell her stuff to get food, you can feel, like, the emotion in her. And when she's struggling later on in the movie and stuff, like, you feel it. So this is going to be, like, amazing, man. Like, this new trilogy or however movies it ends up being has the potential to be absolutely awesome, man. Like, that fight sequence with her and Kylo Ren, she won. Like, she was furious, and you could see it. And if there wasn't that giant fissure that happened that split the two of them up, she would have killed him. And she wouldn't have, like, oh, here's the light side, yes, yes. No, she would have just, like, dead. And I think that's going to be really interesting moving forward.
Yeah, that was an amazing fight. And I found it strange. And I guess we're going to skip all over the place. I found it strange, like, how powerful she was all of a sudden, because she didn't know that she had these Jedi powers, anything, until, like, she's captured by Kylo. And it's like, and I have to say, like, what's her deal? Like, who are her parents or whatnot? And people are saying that she's Luke Skywalker's daughter, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like,
well, but did you see the other very popular theory going around?
That she's Obi-Wan's daughter?
Yes.
But that doesn't make any sense either.
Why not?
Because Obi-Wan was clearly established as a Jedi. He saw what love did to Darth Vader. I don't see him ever getting into a relationship. I don't.
Hey, man, him and Yoda were close. Let me tell you.
No, but seriously, he saw what love did to Anakin.
That's right.
And we like, the timeline between Episode 3 and Episode 4 is not like, would he have time to? And if he did have a daughter between those episodes, like, she would be much older than she is in episode.
No, exactly. For me, that's my only problem with that theory, is the age doesn't fit. Because, look, okay, there's a lot of stuff here that I have. Maybe she's related to no one. Okay?
Like Anakin, maybe.
It's possible.
Like, Anakin had a mother, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. But what we do know, based on the flashbacks when she touched Luke's lightsaber, here's a lot of stuff. There's a lot here, okay? Obviously, next movie or the one after that, we will have a Darth Vader moment. So it's going to be critical or crucial or whatever to go see that next movie as soon as you possibly can. because it's clear that her origin is going to be the big Luke, I am your father type moment in this trilogy. It's going to be, who the hell is this girl? Because they were really not shy showing how quickly she was able to grasp all of this. Like, she jokingly was saying, come here and unlock me from this chair, And apparently, you know who that stormtrooper was?
Yeah, the girl from Game of Thrones, the
Huh? No. The one in the white suit when she's in the interrogation room, the one that lets her out.
Oh, okay. No.
They're saying that it was James Bond, the actor who plays James Bond.
Daniel Craig?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Apparently, all the stormtroopers in the entire movie are celebrities. Like,
they had cameos nobody knew. And nice.
Yeah. No joke. Apparently, that's what all the rumors are saying. Whether or not that's true, who knows? But anyways, whatever. So they weren't oblivious to this, right? Like, this was clearly done on purpose. And the fact is that she's so damn powerful right away. Like, there's something there, obviously. And people automatically, the two things were like, oh, she's Obi-Wan's daughter, or oh, she's Luke's daughter. All I know is, based on the flashbacks and reading a lot of this, I also bought the book, like the official novel for the movie, and there's hints that she was at the academy when Kylo lost his mind. Okay, when he went and killed everybody, there's strong hints that suggest she was one of the students there as a young girl. So if she was at Luke's temple when all that went down, what happened? Because she's only been in exile she says it in the movie, how many years she's been in exile. And Luke has been, according to like what I'm reading here, Luke has been in exile for almost the same amount of time. So if Luke's been in exile the same amount of time as this little girl's been in exile, then that starts to make things interesting. She potentially, if she was in the temple, maybe she was moved to Jakku for safety, being one of the last, Jedi people around. But I don't know. I have no idea. And if it is Luke's daughter, wouldn't he have like ran to her at the end of the movie?
No, that's the thing I have, is that if it is Luke's daughter, he's a big asshole for having abandoned her for all those years. Because we do see Luke Skywalker for like a few seconds at the end of the movie, and that scene is fantastic because you see that guy is demolished. Like, he's almost dead inside. He seems destroyed, completely annihilated. And I'm curious to see if we'll get more flashbacks from what actually happened, because you said that Kylo killed a bunch of people, kind of like Anakin did, I believe, in the academy. And I don't recall seeing that exactly. I know that's probably something that happened. You know a lot more than I do about that, but are we gonna see more of that, or that was it? That's confirmed. He basically Luke was training him, and he went rogue and killed a bunch of people.
Well, okay. Well, they talked about it in the movie that like he basically killed everybody, and the thing is, they're in the sequence where you have the flashback. You see the Knights of Ren. There's a scene where you see them, they're all holding red lightsabers, and Kylo is basically their master. He's in charge of this like gang of Sith or whatever the hell they are. And in that sequence where you see like a whole bunch of different images, you hear Yoda speak, you hear Alec Guinness speak, you hear Ewan McGregor speak. It's pretty cool, actually, that. You even see from Empire Strikes Back where Luke was walking through to meet Vader. Like, why would she see those things? Now, is she seeing a reflection of, like, Luke's experiences? Is that what it is? But then she hears Obi-Wan's voice and says, Rey, run, or whatever it is, something, or Rey, I forget what it was, what the one line of spoken text is. But it's fascinating to me. I find that absolutely fascinating. Like, there's definitely a connection there, and basically, yeah, what the story with him is that, he turned to the dark side, and he looks at it that light is actually a weakness. So he's the anti-Vader. So Vader went dark, but had some light in him. With this character, he's light, okay, that had some dark in him, and instead of, like with Vader realizing, like, no, there is still good in him and he becomes good, it's like this character was like, oh, there's like some dark in me. I want to fully embrace that and fully push out the light. And that's why, well, the biggest spoiler, obviously, is when he kills Han Solo. And when Han, I love that scene where he goes and he touches his son's face. And you can see that even though he's killed his father, there is still that good in him. And it frustrates him, too, all of this. Those scenes where you see him, like, take his lightsaber and just destroy, like, a whole section of the space station or the whatever the hell the thing was called. I actually really like that because it shows that he's gone so far out of his way to accept and embrace the darkness, but it's not making him as strong as he wants. He still feels the good inside him, and he's trying everything in his power to destroy that. I love that.
Yeah, and I also love when Han Solo, like Kylo's walking away and Han Solo screams, I believe it was Ben, right?
Yeah, that's
right.
So
they called him Ben after Ben Kenobi. I thought that was just fantastic and just a good reference for us Star Wars fan. And I knew as soon as he went there and Kylo said there was one last thing he needed to do, I knew he was going to kill his father right there. And that was just such a great moment from the film, really. And you can see that Rey, at that point, in her eyes, she wanted to kill Kylo. At that point, exactly. She was frustrated. And I love that. She's not fighting the dark side. She doesn't know about any of that right now. She's just living. She's just acting on her emotions. So I'll be quite curious if they. I hope they don't go like what they have done since the beginning and just decide to train her as a Jedi. I hope they go a different route with her because I just like her that way. I think she should embrace her emotions, and I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think any of us know, man. That's the whole point. It's really something, man. Like, really, this is. I really enjoyed all of this. Like, absolutely all of this. All the damn acting, though. That's what really did it for me. Like, it was so good. I did not expect this at all. Like, I was really hoping the trailers looked good. It was great seeing the Millennium Falcon. Oh, and going back to that scene. Chewbacca, man, that was powerful. Like, you could see that he was just like, oh, you're going down, you son of a bee. When Han, like, bit the bullet there. I love that. But that fight sequence with Kylo and Rey was so good. And what people don't get, like, especially when I talk to certain people, like, and I say what really pissed me off with the prequels was that everyone had a lightsaber and everybody's flipping around doing cartwheels and all this sort of. That to me isn't Star Wars. What made Star Wars so cool was the fighting was limited. It was like they use these weapons as like a last resort sort of thing, but they're not doing like jumping jacks like flipping through the air and all of this. If anything, the fights in the original series are boring. Yeah. They're not like the action sequences are boring. It's because it's the dialogue, it's the setup, it's the build up, it's that whole thing that really makes it like, wow, this is powerful. And they were able to capture that in this particular movie. Yeah, it was a little bit more action oriented, but it wasn't. We didn't see Kylo, like, I don't know, bouncing from tree to tree and doing somersaults and all this crap.
No, I don't know. There is nothing I didn't like about this movie. I just, from start to finish, I was having such a blast in the theaters, and it just, I loved it even more than I thought I would, and I couldn't be happier about it. Now I can't wait to see Rogue. I can't wait to see Episode 8. And man, I'm just looking forward to all of this.
Yeah, me too. And what's really cool is now they're saying that they're going to be incorporating characters from outside the movies, because for the first time ever, it is one unified universe, which means it's really possible that we could see characters that were in Star Wars Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels. So you could potentially see like Ahsoka, or I think that's how she pronounces her name, which she's like a critical piece of the Star Wars mythology that we just don't know. But now she's not just some expanded universe character. They're even saying that she could be in or referenced to in Star Wars Rogue One. And I'm like, that's so badass, man. Like that's really cool that they could take elements from other things that are out there, other mediums that are out there, and actually incorporate it into the larger universe. And that guy who got killed right in the beginning, who said that line there, "This will begin to make things right," he's actually supposed to be in Star Wars Star Wars Rogue One. So you'll get to know who that character was, which then going back and watching Episode 7 may even make it more powerful, because you'll be like, oh man, sorry, dude, that sucks that you died. You did all this good stuff. So I don't know. I'm really excited for this. Actually, all of this. They're even doing the only thing with that I'm not sure is the Han Solo movie. I'm not entirely sure how that's gonna play out.
Yeah, me neither. I guess it's just they just want to do a lighter movie, like just to talk about his stuff while we get a break. I guess I'm not sure. But having said all that, I guess this pretty much covers everything we had to say about Star Wars. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you have anything else to say, Jarrod, I'll let you go.
No, I'm good. I just wanted to, we'll wrap up. I guess I'll wrap up just by saying that it was a phenomenal movie, and I'm really impressed. I did not at all expect this. I really didn't think they were going to be able to pull this off, and they did. So now I look at it that the future of Star Wars is really bright. I mean, I'm really looking forward to the next couple of years, and I just cannot wait. And with that, I will say thanks for joining us, guys, and, we'll see you soon.